a sat-nav. What a load of rubbish.
Two V6s, that's what it's called, a W12. Two V6s from the Volkswagen Corrado.
It's not just the best stereo I've ever heard, it's probably the best sound I've ever heard.
Oh, all right, okay, that'll do. Hi all, Aid here from Rev Monkey. Today I'm taking out our own Bentley Continental GTC. So in this video I'll be going over the car, the insides, the outsides, the driving experience, listen to that great W12 engine. I'll go through how much it costs to run this car, including showing you the service receipts. Because it's one thing being able to afford to buy a car, it's another thing maintaining it when you get up to high performance vehicles. And this one is very expensive to maintain. But I say, and I'll say it all the time, this could be one of the best epic cars to get value for money wise, because you get a hell of a lot of car for what is now £30,000 to £40,000 for the early models of the cabriolet. Now I've never been a fan of the GT models. They came out in the early noughties and they were swooped on by perhaps some would say unsavoury footballers. Therefore the car had a bit of a bad image. It was synonymous with vulgarity and showing others what you haven't got. However, that's all now changed because I get such good comments with this car, mostly from old women. What does that tell you? I don't know. But people generally love this car. There's no ill feeling shown towards this car, ever. If anything, it's the other way round, and the feedback is always super positive. I think it helps that this is in what I think is one of the very best livery combinations of the dark blue sapphire with the cream interior. The contrast is fantastic, and it's got a matching roof, which really helps with the car's looks, even with the roof up. I think actually it's one of the rare exceptions where it's a fantastically good looking car when the roof's up. In fact, possibly better looking when it's up, which is unbelievable. With the roof down, of course, it is glorious, and I'll show you the roof mechanism in a moment. I love going topless. So I've had this Bentley for 5 or 6 years. I'm not completely sure about looking at the documents first. It's just quite a long time, and in terms of car ownership, in my experience, that's a very long time to have one car. It's a fabulous, fabulous car. It's the way it glides over the roads. It gives you a really great sense of well-being, because it's fantastic for the ego, because you feel like an absolute king or queen driving around in it. It's like you want to do the royal wave out the window. As we get into the car itself, the front binnacle is pretty old-fashioned. You can see here, just under 52,000 miles and going very strong indeed. Rev counter, temperatures, oil, speedometer, and this car generally does 190 odd miles an hour with the roof up. There's the Breitling clock, glove box here, a little bit of storage. It's taken out a bit by this 6 CD multi-changer, which adds to the excellence of this stereo. Looking at the steering wheel controls, you've got the cruise control over here, stereo and phone volume here. Now, it's such an old system, of course, it hasn't got an MP3 player, so we can't play music through it. Now, what you can do, it costs about 1,200, 1,500 quid, you can get this replaced completely with a modern system with a proper Android and Apple CarPlay intuitive interface, allowing you to take phone calls through it and play your music through it, which makes a lot of sense. We probably should have done it a while ago, because we got this at about 14,000 miles. So yeah, very good stuff. But lovely inside, such a nice place to be, very bright, very airy, of course, even with the roof down. Start her up, just pushing the start button down here, foot on the brake, move the lever down into drive or sport if you're so inclined, to start hearing a bit of that W12 engine, which is quite remarkably 2 V6s, that's what it's called, a W12, 2 V6s from the Volkswagen Corrado. So in fact it's like 2 V6 Volkswagen engines in the front of this car. And the engine is known to be particularly robust. Certainly we've never had any problems with it in our ownership. So let this car go past, because I'm a gentleman when I'm driving this. You know, it's just all about mentality, isn't it? You know, when I'm in the Ferrari or I'm in the Emira or the Mercedes, my mentality is I want to get somewhere as quick as bloody possible. And therefore, some fast speeds and fast acceleration, going around bends and over enthusiastic braking happens. So it's not a relaxing experience, it's just quite frenetic but ultimately fun. And then the Bentley, you get inside it and you really don't feel like going even the speed limit. You're just mooching along, enjoying the suppleness of the suspension. It just cossets over the bumps. It does a little shimmy over a drain pipe in the most delightful way. Oh dear, oh dear. It is remarkable how pleasantly this drives along the road. And it just eats up any imperfections whatsoever. It's got very heavily power-assisted steering, which makes it a delight, because it's a heavy car. So to move that around in slow turning circles or slow corners, it does need this kind of really powerful system, and it really, really works delightfully. It's actually very, very easy to position this car, easier than you'd expect. What is not in question is that it's ferocious off the lights. You put it in sport, you whack your full accelerator, and it goes off like an electric car. Okay, it's not quite as fast as a Tesla, for example, but compared to other cars on the road who have to change gear, it just goes wallop. It changes gear once on its way to 60, then goes past 60. And of course, at A road and motorway sort of speeds, you put your foot down and it still goes like that. This car, I'd say from 0 to about 180 is a phenomenon. Obviously, the faster you go, the less the weight plays a part, and so you are shifting along, and it's an absolute beast on a motorway, or autobahns preferably. Now, going around bends, I'll show you when we go into the details, but it's got a suspension setting where you can firm it up and lower the suspension. So that's pretty good, but doesn't make a huge difference. But the car goes around bends fine. the suspension's good enough that it doesn't completely yaw like this. It's not flat by no means, and you do feel the weight in the bends, but the tyres are such a prodigious width. The grip is remarkable, so you can really take some liberties with the car. These are the best seats I've ever sat in from a comfort point of view. You can't feel what's going on the road, but it's genuinely somewhere between a sports comfort seat and the most comfortable sofa you've ever sat on. It's cosseting all the way up your body, it's just perfect, and it's infinitely adjustable. That's the padding at the front goes out underneath your legs to your knees as you want it. That lifts up and down. It's got a big full lumbar support. It's got infinite amount of positions you can save it in with the memory seats. And most of all, important to me, and I love it, and it's really, really important, and I've got it in every car I've got. C63's got it, this has got it, Ferrari's even got it as an optional extra, and the Emira's got it. Heated seats, I love it. Now you can get these with perforated air-conditioned seats, and you can get them with the massager. This hasn't got that. Oh, I'd love that. Never mind. At the time, didn't have it, fell in love with the car, so be it. But generally, the seats are delightful. You could go on 1,000, 2,000 mile trip and get out of this absolutely fine. Hence why it's called the Continental, hence why GT Grand Touring. Big acceleration. Woo! What a noise. I put my hand up. When I'm driving this car, I suddenly start talking posh, talking funny, talkie like a right twat. I don't know what it is. It's that mentality thing. Something enters in your brain. I don't know what it is. It's like people who, back in the day, who bought a BMW and thought they have made it in life. Wrong. My God, I'm starting to sound more and more like Bruno and Tonioli. God, how depressing. I need to get in one of my man cars, take that for a spin to touch base again with my my maleness, I think. But generally speaking, women love these cars. They love them to death. All Sonia's, my other half's friends, love this car. She loves it. It's the women come up to it. They come up to this car more than when I'm in the Ferrari. Typical. I think they just find this probably the epitome of motoring, perhaps, possibly, unarguably, beaten by a Rolls Royce. Or that's probably so in your face ostentatious that maybe actually the Bentley is the one that ticks all the boxes, and you don't feel a bit too post driving it. So the 5 things I like about this car, well, firstly, it's just the looks. I think it looks incredible. Okay, it floats around a bit like a super yacht on the road, but it's got really good presence, and I think it's really good looking. It's good looking with the roof up, it's good looking with the roof down. So that's number 1. Number 2, comfort. It's a fabulous place to sit, even for a long time. The seats are amazing. Number 3 is that you get such an amazing car, and you can still put 2 adults in the back, and it's got more room in the back than contemporary kind of Audi A4s, the BMWs, the Merc cabriolets, which is a real achievement. Because look at this, look, it's a big car. It's got a 12-cylinder engine there. It's got seating for comfortably for 4 adults there, and it's got a big boot. Well, number 4 is how it sounds. This is quite cool. So you pop the hood with the lever on the passenger side footwell, and then it raises up slightly, and then this little Bentley button pushes out. You then pull it out further and lift it. How amazing is that? There we go. Wow, twin turbo 6 litre 2 Volkswagen VR6 engines. So it's 2 V6s equals a W12, and there we go, 552 horsepower. As you can see, it's quite compact. I mean, well, it would be, wouldn't it? Putting 2 V6 engines in a car. But this car has been very, very reliable in the 6 years. The engine is fantastic. The pickup, delivery, how it goes, how it starts, quite remarkable, a brilliant piece of engineering. Number 5, I think it has to be that stereo. That I keep going on about it, but it's not just the best stereo I've heard, it's probably the best sound I've ever heard. And wherever you go, in a house, car, rock concert, whatever, it's quite staggering. And when you've got the roof up or down, if you're going at speed or you're cruising along gently at 20 miles an hour, somehow it still sounds incredible. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how the acoustics can be that good and that powerful. There's a Twitter over there. Fantastic. Right, 5 things I don't like about this car. First of all, a sat nav. What a load of rubbish. The second thing I don't really like about the car is it's just its size. It's a big car, it's got a lot going on, it's got to cater for a lot of space. So it's part and parcel, it is how it is. But I don't like the fact it's big, because trying to park it is very stressful. So on that basis, I've got to make it that I don't like the size of it, but I wouldn't give that size up for what you get with this car. Right, number 3 is the gear change in manual operation. I didn't do it on the drive. So on the gear stick here, you got it in part normal, reverse, neutral, expect, and drive, and you got sport there, just faster gear changes. In automatic, the car's a delight, goes along really smoothly, quite quick changes. Bring it over to there, you can go up and down here as you wish, or toggle these and use these manually, down and up. They're fixed to there, not to the wheel, so as your hands go around you can't change the gear. That's not end of the world stuff, that happens in quite a lot of cars. You could argue you're not meant to be changing gear at that point. However, they're so bloody slow, you bring the gear changer in and the car, I think it goes down Starbucks, orders a latte, sits down, drinks it, replaces the cup at the bar, gets back in the car and then changes the gear. It's ridiculous, it's so laborious. So that's an easy, definite dislike. Well, that's it, I have to stop there. I can't think of any other dislikes. It's a stunning car. If you can afford to buy one, and there's some stunning deals out there. If you do like the GT, they're even cheaper. The Cabrio's always a premium, quite rightly. It smashes the GT in every way and looks. And also, there's more room in the back in this. The GT roof kind of comes down quite low, and you just can't get 2 people in the back in the same sort of way. So I think this is the pick of the bunch. I think this is a great colour combo to go for. So if you can afford it and can maintain it, I highly recommend it. So well, that's about it now. So if you do like this content, I want to see more content of a similar ilk with my own usual passionate enthusiasm, make sure you subscribe, share it, leave a comment, leave a like, much appreciated. Trying to grow the channel. Thank you very much. You ride and drive safe out there. Aid out.